Hey guys, getting ready for tomorrow, getting my stuff together, enjoying me some green tea. I hadn't drank tea in a while. Um, it's cool enough to do that. It's green tea is good for you. Leave it there. Enjoy my British dramas, Foyle's War, and all that stuff. Um, there's a I came across British crime drama talking about a pandemic, and it just hit me. And I'm not going to spend long on this. I watch a lot of old National Geographic documentaries. I've talked about that before in depth, and I guess with all of those documentaries, the idea was that people would take this seriously and obey the orders of the civil authorities, whoever they might be. And it's even though those documentaries are pretty bad, and the death rate in the documentaries are pretty damn bad, it it is kind of refreshing that things work together and people pull together and are able to operate under adverse conditions. It's like my job. We got a person I work with that he's very difficult. He's kind of rude. And even when you can just tell when he doesn't come to work, because even when things get messed up, like I may run out on a load, right? And then at the last minute, our boss is like, "Oh, wait, come back. We got something else we got to deliver. Come back, something else." When that person's not at work, things go smooth like a breeze. But when he's covering for my manager, stuff the stuff is difficult. He's got a brutish way about him, and that's how I feel about those documentaries. And even though it's adverse and people die, it's still not as bad as what's going on in the real world. Um, And I just thought about, all the documentaries are old. This stuff is like 2003, 2005. We're talking about the early 2000s. And this is now 2020, late 2020. So, everything I'm looking at came out well over 10 years ago. At least 10 years ago. I was like in my late teens when most of this stuff was put on television. I guess it just bothers me that, and I guess it shows you how divided America really is. It bothers me that people don't look at Trump and the pandemic and they're not frustrated with him about, well, why did you wait on this for 3 months? Why didn't you come forward with this pandemic? And that people deserve to know. And this, we're not gonna share supplies with local officials. And I've heard of them actually stealing equipment from local officials. That bothers me. Like I mean, as well as the selfishness to not wearing masks, yeah, that's bad too. But just the fact that people don't look at that and there's no anger, there's no like outrage by that. That bothers me. I think that kind of shows me more than anything that we're dealing with a death cult here. I don't want to, talk about this too much, but it bothers me. There's no outrage about that. That this guy sat on something for 3 months, and that's why the world is quarantined America. That's why. Because it's like you wait 3 months, nothing about it. You downplay it every corner, every juncture. Now he's talking about Joe Biden wearing a mask, talking about how you ever seen somebody that loves a mask so much. Trump, Trump reminds me of these guys that'll be talking to somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, you don't talk to girls." Like he'll say things that are really nasty and mean spirited, but they'll say it in such a way that it's not technically a slur. It's not technically an insult, but it's like they're picking at you, and it's just he Trump. That's why I know what he is, because I've seen guys like that. That they, oh, you don't talk to girls, which is to say you're gay, or things like that. Like, why do you care about that? Why do you care about whether Biden wears a mask or not? Why do you care? Why are you even talking about that? You should be saying good. I mean, that makes me respect him more, that he takes this thing seriously. Get back on the subject. it just bothers me that people don't hold Trump accountable. You do nothing about this for 3 months, and now you want to rush a vaccine. No dice. You know that's you stink and get dirty, and the blood of many is on your hands. You know, and the whole world sees it. That I have to say, even after this, even if Trump gets out of office, Biden is elected, and Biden gets reelected or whatever, I think for a long time, a lot of people in the world are not going to trust American public health, and that's a good thing. I think that was America's soft power, and our soft power is in decline. Their soft power is no doubt, which is to say that we have the strong military and everything, and that we're at war all over the world. We're always at war. But if the worst does come, the military will be useful in, bringing about some type of a cure. You know, it'll help. It'll be useful in order to bring aid to the world. And I think that the fact that Trump has made such a mockery of coronavirus, and even now makes a mockery of coronavirus, he wasn't wearing masks for a while. I mean, it I guess there are certain things I always wondered about government. Why do they do certain things? Why don't they? Why aren't they more out with certain things? Trump has explained a lot of it. He's shown you don't do certain things because sometimes you're not sure, and that the president has a lot of pull when they say things, a lot of power when they say things and do things, and that is really, really, really key. That's really, really important to use that power in a judicious manner, to recognize that what you say influences the lives and the decisions of many. And when you just put stuff out there, you know, like people drinking bleach, disinfectant stuff, and things like that. I mean, this is it's irresponsible to say the least. I'm thankful that the world has quarantined America. I mean, I never understood in movies why people will like sacrifice themselves, like space movies where one person will be like, I'm gonna let everybody out of the airlock and I'll die. Like Space Cowboys, for example, dude dies on the moon. When I was a kid, I never understood that, and as a grown man, I get it. I do. I totally understand that, because we're we're fucked up, man. America is like really, really sick. This is a really sick, disgraceful country in many ways, and Trump has been the ultimate test. In some ways, we've held up as far as the military. In some ways, we've utterly failed. This country is disgusting. And the fact that people are outraged by Trump's inaction, I, I've got an inability to explain why. But I can tell you at the next pandemic, America's not. I mean, I wonder if Americans get that. That even if Trump gets elected, I mean, do they care? Like, do Americans realize that, like, the whole world's looking at America? Like, dude, you know, like, do people realize that? I don't know. Peace.